Om Shanti. Are you all happy? But we are not supposed to be happy, especially at this point of time, because India has witnessed the wildest form of sexual assault within the last 4 5 days. Whole world was aware of what happened in Jharkhand last week. A Spanish couple who were touring around India. They were creating a tent in the late night and was sleeping. All of a sudden, a gang of 7 people came and they beat the man and abused and raped the girl right in front of her husband. Police who were coming on patrol in the midnight. They saw the couple laying completely unconscious and they were suspicious of something suspicious has happened. So when they inquired the Spanish couple, they revealed what happened to them. So after getting the details from the couple, they arrested 3 of the gang and they were looking for the remaining 4. And now the whole world was considering India to be unsafe for girls, especially foreigners. Similar incident happened a couple of months back to a Korean girl, Korean YouTuber. That was more dangerous than this because it happened in a public area. Although the guy did not rape her, he was abusing her while she was going live in YouTube. And the worst thing is, none of the bypasses came to her rescue, although she shouted for help. Even more cruel incident happened down south in Pondicherry 4 days back.
अभी अभी कुछ दिनों पहले पौंडीचेरी में भी बहुत बुरा ही कुछ घटना घटा।
A 9-year-old female child went missing. So her parents complained it to the police station, but they did not hear anything from the police for the past 4 days. So the people gathered in large number and started staging protest. Then they saw the CCTV in her area, and the last image of the missing girl was right in front of her house, playing in the road. So the police decided something must have happened to the girl within that street. And before that, they found a dead body tied in the sack some 50 feet near to the missing girl's home in a drainage. And the police sent the body to postmortem, and the postmortem report said that there is great damage in her private part. So this confirms that the girl was violently sexually abused before killing her. Then they conducted door-to-door inquiry. When they were inquiring a 19-year-old guy, he was shivering and he couldn't answer properly. So this made police suspicious of the guy. So they took him to the police station, and after inquiry, he revealed that the girl was enticed by a 54-year-old neighbor into his house, and he was sexually abusing that girl. On hearing the scream of the girl for help, this 19-year-old guy went into the house and he also joined the act and severely sexually assaulted the girl. So the small child died and they wanted to hide that incident, by tying her legs and hands with a tight rope, and they put her inside a sack and threw her in a nearby drainage. Now the whole town people gathered in that place and shouting, saying that the government should take strict action against the use of ganja, because uh, kids from age 8, 9, 10, even they are addicts of heroin nowadays. And a girl shouted that when guys are under the influence of heroin, they couldn't differentiate between a 5-year-old girl or a 50-year-old woman. They just want to satisfy their sexual desires. And they also fear that the government will spare them, saying that they have committed such crime under the influence of heroin, so they will blame it just on heroin and not on those culprits. So they want the culprit to be punished with death penalty, or they wanted those culprits to be handed over to the public so that they themselves will kill those culprits like that of Arab countries. Now the people raise slogan against the use of heroin, but they do not raise slogan against sex, because it is actually the sex that is the root cause of the problem. Even in my recent videos in Tamil regarding the extramarital affairs, I was shocked to find many girls commenting in favor of illegal affairs. So the very women who were shouting for the protection of women are addicted to sex like men nowadays. That is why we do not find women fighting against the extremely glamour dress worn by heroines in very famous movies. Yeah, and also girls, in the name of feminism, they say it is their body, it is their right to wear whatever they want. Most of the time, the rape victims will be wearing the revealing clothes. And another thing is, most of the women are abused by the outsider when they themselves were engaging in sexual acts with their boyfriend or husband in public. And another biggest culprit for these rape cases are none but our allopathic doctors. Yeah, and they support masturbating behavior both in men and women as a strong, healthy habit. Already, the teenagers are addicted to sex because of uh, low soul energy. But still, although they get addicted to sexual acts, they couldn't. Uh, they whenever they finish masturbation, they always feel guilty. So they need nobody to teach them that masturbation is wrong, because they themselves know that. But unfortunately, we are surrounded by these allopathic doctors who, on regular basis, say that masturbation is good for health. Not indulging in masturbation will give rise to prostate cancer and many cancer. This creates a bad influence not only in teenagers but also among spiritual leaders. And that is the reason we do not find any spiritual leaders, especially except Brahma Kumaris, who is preaching brahmacharya anymore. That is
और
celibacy. One brother said to me that he was so addicted to masturbation, so he uh, went for consultation to a sexologist, doctor, whom advised him that there is nothing bad in masturbating. Even I am masturbating 4 to 5 times a day. Both male and female doctors are now strongly advocating in support of masturbation, saying that as long as it is uh, not very frequent, it is okay to masturbate. But unfortunately, they do not know the um, negative impact of masturbation, not only for that particular individual, but for the whole society. Because masturbation first happens in the mind before in the body. It is impossible to masturbate without using the sexual images in mind by watching pornography or by imagining somebody of opposite sex. The more they indulge in masturbation, the more and more weaker their soul becomes. The weak soul will no longer have any control over its mind. So when they get addicted to habits like masturbation or taking heroin or any other drug, their mind will start creating thoughts regarding those sexual acts or the or drugs, the effects of drugs like heroin. So they will crave for it more and more. So it will reach a worse situation that they will even start masturbating in public, right in front of their parents, right in front of their co-workers. Even we recently witnessed a church pastor masturbating while conducting prayer in America. And unfortunately, people are brainwashed to believe that sex is more like hunger and thirst. Now, you don't find any single spiritual leader speaking against masturbation or sex because they themselves are convinced that it is part of the nature. But the actual side effect of masturbation is their mind will continuously create sexual images in their mind no matter what they do. When their mind is filled with more and more sexual thoughts, their mind cannot concentrate on anything other than sex after
Or
particular stage. That's when they become drug addicts and involve even in homosexual acts, and they even commit murders. When their mind is habituated to creating sexual thoughts continuously, whomever they encounter, even including the holy relationships like brothers and sisters, even with them they create sexual thoughts. Sometimes they will even feel guilty, but still they couldn't stop their mind from creating sexual thoughts on their own siblings. And also, many girls are now uh, getting sexual thoughts by saying half-naked Hindu deities in temples like Sri Ram. And also in internet we will find many women saying that they get sexually stimulated on seeing Jesus Christ image. Although they feel guilty about it, although they worship Jesus as God, they couldn't just stop their mind from creating these bad thoughts. This is actually the result of masturbation. A famous female YouTuber said that uh, since she was so addicted to masturbation and watching pornography, she couldn't uh, stop her mind by imagining anybody who is walking right in front of her naked. So no matter how they look, how what their age is, her mind simply visualizes them naked. And also nowadays we keep hearing that many guys are watching their own sister's body lustfully and own daughter's body lustfully. So the actual problem is sex and not heroin. So if you start taking action to come out of sexual addiction, then heroin is not a big problem, because if you are able to conquer sex, you can easily come out of any addiction. So the first step should be to realize that masturbation or any form of sexual acts, whether through body or mind, is very bad, both physically and mentally. And the second step is the determined thought that I will definitely come out of this addiction. And the third step should be to cut whatever source that stimulates you sexually, be it watching pornography or watching erotic stories or images, or watching someone lustfully, or mingling with friends who are always talking about sex. Last but not least, you must take the divine education given directly by God through Brahmakumari's Rajog meditation centers. Because believe it or not, only Brahmakumari's organization is providing education for people to conquer sex. Since no religious scriptures preach about the right method to conquer sex, we find spiritual leaders of all religions falling into lust every now and then. On the other hand, the education given by Brahmakumaris make even lay people to conquer sex very easily while they were living with their life partner. The main essence of Rajayoga meditation by Brahmakumaris is we need to consider ourselves to be the imperishable soul that shines like a tiny star in between the eyebrows. It is the soul that controls the body, and that controller is you. Once you have this soul consciousness and start developing the habit of watching each other as souls and not as bodies, you will surprisingly see yourself uh, detached from everything around you, especially anything that triggers your mind sexually. But before that, we souls do not have enough power to concentrate on souls. And that is the reason God asks us to remember God as a point of light shining in the golden red colored light world called Parandam or Parlok. As much as possible, consider yourselves to be souls and remember God as a point of light, and this will increase your soul power to a great extent. The more your soul accumulates power from God, you will no longer be distracted by the outside world. So you will find your concentration power increasing tremendously. So this concentration power is going to help you succeed whether you are a student or a professional or a businessman. Celibacy makes you win and sex makes you lose. Whatever you have lost so far in your life, I can say for sure that it is because of your sexual activities through your mind and body so far. That is the actual reason for all your loss till this time. Don't worry, by becoming pure, by conquering sex, by being in remembrance of God, you will be able to win everything you have lost so far. I'm not speaking only about the loss you have incurred in this birth, but I'm speaking about the lost your loss your soul has incurred for the past 5,000 years since this world was created as heaven. Yes, God created this world originally as heaven 5,000 years back, and the heaven was filled with all treasures that is necessary to keep us always blissful and peaceful. The world continued to be heaven for the first 2500 years because we were soul conscious and we did not have any knowledge about the five vices: lust, anger, greed, attachment, and ego. Even childbirth happens due to the power of thoughts or the power of yoga in heaven. Not only sex, they will not even be slightly disturbed by opposite sex because they were fully soul conscious, and they will not be distracted by the beauty of the body, although the deities will be extremely beautiful. And also, they were extremely rich that they lived in a house built of golden bricks. Not only the humans were kind to each other, but even animals like lions and tigers will be loving to animals like cows and sheep. And there was absolutely no sign of sorrow or pain in heaven. And after 2500 years, we become body conscious, because of which we become addicted to sensual pleasures, and thereby we come under the influence of these five vices: lust, anger, greed, attachment, and ego, and started committing many sins under the influence of vices. That's how we started losing health, wealth, beauty, divine qualities, everything gradually. And by the time we reach the end of 5,000 years, we have become what we are now. And we are now at the end of Kali Yuga, and God has come to take us all back to heaven again, and that is why He is giving this Raj Yoga meditation to make us into King of Kings again. But we cannot expect the whole world to accept this knowledge. Only very few among millions will take this knowledge and follow this path and make them eligible to enter heaven. They wash away their sins by being in remembrance of God constantly. They will also be saved from uh, such animalistic behaviors like rape. We will definitely be punished as long as the past sins are in our mind in the form of thoughts. So, by replacing those evil thoughts with divine thoughts, uh, with the help of God's direct knowledge, which is called Murli, we can protect ourselves from being punished for our past sins. So we invite all of you to come to the nearest Brahmakumaris Rajok Meditation Center in your area and make the most of yourselves. To protect your family members and friends from sexual assaults and other evil acts, give them this knowledge, because only God has the power to protect them. Thank you so much, my dear divine brothers and sisters, for listening for this long.